Yes.
Hold on now. I can't help it that my mama wanted to name me such a beautiful name.
I know that's right.
Thank you, Mama.
It's not difficult.
Shakaya, no, because
Thank you.
I've seen it spelled that way and pronounced like 4 different ways, so I just wanted to make sure I was saying it.
I appreciate it.
Again, welcome to Baltimore Flava Radio.
Yes, yes.
Miss DJ Clark, welcome.
Thank you. Good
Now,
to be here.
let me start with house music. When did you fall in love?
I think I was 13. Around 13.
Okay.
It wasn't called house music then. I remember when it was just R&B. Then it went to disco, and then it went to house.
Interesting.
You telling your age?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna go there, but yeah, okay.
Telling my age.
Okay, so I mean, was this like an experience where you were just hearing it around the house, or were you?
Yeah, I heard it with, my parents, my aunts, uncles. They used to go to this club called the Clubhouse, DC. And before I got there, I thought it was oldies but goodies clubs. They used to wear these costumes and everything. I'm thinking they're going to oldies but goodies clubs. And by the time I got to like 15 years old, they gave me the address and the membership and told me to go, and it changed my whole life. I was listening to Larry Levan at like 15.
Yeah, so we could get in the clubs at 15.
A diva live. Stuff like that. I just rocked my whole world. Me and all my high school friends. We never went back to a gym party after that. Couldn't do it.
Now you're wasting your time. What about you, Shakaya?
I'm just 6 years old in this game, in the house game. I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. I moved here 7 years ago. And my best friend was like, you got to come to this party. You got to come to this party. So I went to this party. I walked in. I've never seen anything like it where everybody's kind of in their own world, dancing, grooving. No one's staring at each other. People are just dancing. So I start to dance. I have heels on, but I start like getting real low to the ground, almost crawling. And I'm like, wait, something is happening. So
Hold up.
she tells me to take my shoes off. I took my shoes off. And in the black church, when they say you catch the Holy Ghost, that's what I caught that night. And I cried and I danced for hours. And my life changed from there.
Wow. And this is the funny part, because when we were on break, she was like, Antoine, I'm kind of shy. But you just got to. And the first question that she answered, she talked about taking her shoes off.
Dropping down low with it. Crawling on the floor.
All that shyness just automatically went out the window. So, okay, so from this point of just falling in love with house music, how did you turn this into this houseology concept that you have now?
Well, about, was it, Clark, 3 years?
I'd say about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I heard Clark playing in DC, and something just sparked in my head. Was like, I want to do a party, because what house music gave to me, I wanted to give back. I wanted other people to feel the self-expression and the self-empowerment and the love that I felt, and how that music really healed me. So I walked up to Clark after the party. We started talking, and I told her, we're going to have a party. And she said, okay. And about 3 years later, we had Houseology in Baltimore. So we were in D.C. It was just an idea. It was just because the love that I have for this music, and the dance,
And I felt it when I met you. Like when I met her, I felt it. I was happy because she's from a younger generation. And I was just so happy to see, us from a younger generation still into like that kind of house, like real deep house. And she's like, let's get together. And it wasn't even a thought, because I know the vibe from, I'm still floating from back in the day, that vibe. And I miss it, so whenever I, encounter it, I'm like, yeah, let's do something. Mm-hmm. And like a year and a half later, it's Houseology.
Yeah. Good old Houseology. It's just, we just want to have a good time. And like I said, it's about spreading this music. It's preserving the history, you know, as a lot of people are knowing about South African house music and, you know, the electronic dance music. And I'm not knocking any of those genres, but we have to preserve the history where the music came from, where it was, you know, Black Americans in the clubs in Chicago and New York and DC and Baltimore and Philly and Jersey, you know, bringing all that energy in to release and what it did around the world. So it's important to preserve that history, you know, and also create the awareness and pass it to the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Houseology is really about, is making sure that we give to the community and give back to these children that also need to know. You know, Clark spins vinyl. And that's a talent in itself, not to knock the DJs who are doing their thing on the, you know, computers and everything, because I give thanks for that as well, for the advancement of that. But to spin vinyl, that cosmic science, that's a science there.
And that energy. It's coming from between the grooves, the needle and the groove to the people. When the ricochet back from the people to the DJ, it's amazing.
So you feel the same energy?
Oh, I feel it every time. It's a high. It's a high. It's a must.
Wow.
Play.
So where did the actual name Houseology?
Boy, it ain't that hard.
Houseology, man.
Houseology.
About to make it more difficult.
How did y'all actually come up with that name?
Well, I'm big on names. Like, in my family, everybody has a nickname. So, you know, I love names. We like to rhyme and all that. So, me and my boy Johnny were in the library, and we were just playing with words. And he was like, let's use house. And I had ecology. But there was already a kind of party in Baltimore with ecology and stuff like that. So, you know, you respect that, and you don't try to take nobody else's stuff. So, I called one of my mamas, Mama Maji Ross, my dance director, and she said, what about Houseology? Because I told her the two words. She put them together, and that's how it came about. Yeah. At the library on what is that? Pennsylvania. Yep.
The one that's on the corner.
The one that's on the corner. Trust and believe.
And when you say Johnny, you're talking, my man, Be More Urban Culture.
Oh, yes, all day, every day.
You said a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. And Johnny was one of the founders, you know, one who really supported Houseology in the beginning, really pushed. He still does. So definitely much love to him.
Are you a part of the film?
You know, I was not a part, but now I am a part of the film. Okay. And, you know, and they'll be at Houseology tomorrow. So please come and support and check it out, because once again, it's spreading the love of house music, you know, musically, on the big screen, everything. So we just have to spread it. However, through the dance, through the art, through the music, through spoken word, through word of mouth, all of that.
Can you talk a little bit? Well, let me ask you this first. Have you guys had a chance to travel outside of the DMV area and experience house music, like parties and stuff in different areas, like maybe in the Midwest or the West Coast or even overseas, like a lot of the house music DJs have?
Well, I haven't been overseas yet, but as far as, I've been in Miami. I spent in Miami before. I spent drum and bass as well. I spent drum and bass and house there. Okay. And house is slightly different to me.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, it's way different. It's more like Euro style. I like a little bit of all of it, but it's more like a Euro style house than that deep soulfulness. I know there's certain cities they don't touch on the deep soulfulness of it. I think it depends on where you are. I mean, like I was in Miami, and it was everywhere I went, it was mainly like Euro style, and more towards like the city, it was deeper house. It could have been because that weekend it was music conference, that conference thing. Yeah, Winter Music Conference. Could have been because of that too. Yeah.
So it's almost regionalized to a certain point, like hip hop is.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. How do we unite them all? Like, how can we make Miami understand and appreciate that deeper house sound?
Oh, we gotta get over there and play, and teach them, They have to hear us.
We have to take Houseology to Miami.
Yeah. Houseology is going to be a traveling tour party soon. Yeah.
I love it.
But I think that's the best way to exchange and to teach and to learn. We just travel and play it our way. It's like, to me, it's like a language. It's my interpretation of, what house is. Your interpretation. Like, I've heard some type stuff from brothers from Turkey. They had dope, some dope house mixes, and I'm like, wow, I gotta get to Turkey. But I'm just realizing, like, it's different. Depending on where you are, it's like your interpretation of it. But it's all house. That's the dope part about it. No one owns it. It's for the world. Some cities, some places, we did this for it. Okay, yeah, but it's all house. It's universal.
And it seems like every guest that we have here, I think Casper can vouch, always say that same thing. Like, it doesn't matter what part of the world or what part of the country that you're in and what facet of house music that you like. It's all house music, so it's all. And every time I hear somebody say that, I can like imagine like this humongous like worldwide house party like in an arena somewhere where you just bring, just invite people from wherever and put them in like the Superdome or something like that, and just like house out for a weekend, because that's not something that you can do in one night. That would she's over there with the peace out like,
That's a week.
That's one of those. That would be one of those things where like nobody could go home type of situations. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was West Burns at the Clubhouse.
Okay.
The first club that I was introduced to, my parents introduced me to, because they didn't want me to go to Go-Go's. So they gave me the address, and I noticed on Memorial Weekend, it's like the marathon weekend. You dance the whole weekend. Whoever stops dancing, you gotta go. But the club was open for the whole weekend.
I'll be done in an
But
hour.
we had energy in there, and that DJ is tearing us up, so we had mad energy. We can go for 2 days.
So, who are your favorite house DJs?
Oh man,
like let me put it like this: if you had a chance to play a set with 5 of your favorite DJs,
Tito would be at the top of the list. Tito used to be at the Clubhouse. Tito, Mike from Trax, Larry Levan, Dave Mancuso.
Yes.
Who else? I know I got somebody else. Probably Black Coffee.
Oh, we have a caller.
Baltimore Flava Radio caller, are you there?
Never knew that house music was like there. When I think of DC, I always say, yeah. See the look that you had on your face. Because I always think go-go and hip-hop in DC. So it's...
Nah. Well, see, truth be told, back in the day, the house scene was in the gay clubs first.
Yeah.
Where everybody came. Straight, gay, everybody came to the gay clubs. Right. Because that's the only venue that played house music. I was getting into it, in the mid-'80s? Probably earlier than that, late, the mid-'80s. So, and then when I came of age to go to any clubs, and I wanted to hear this music, I had to go to gay clubs, and that's where everybody I know went. Fantasies. Yeah. Garage, it was the gay clubs. Trax was number one for DC after Clubhouse closed.
Okay.
At first, before Trax, it was Clubhouse. And Clubhouse was hand in hand with like the Garage and then the Studio 54 and the clubs in Europe. You can use the same membership.
Okay.
But the DC scene was incredible. It still is. But I think people know DC as go-go and stuff like that.
So do they do any kind of festivals like we have here in the summer? Do they do those in DC? Like, what's the thing that we do at Trio Park? Collective Minds. Do they do that? Anything like that in DC?
I think I haven't.
They had one.
Yeah, the Black Love Fest. Yeah, but it's not for me. It needs to be one. I think we need to start it to represent house for house. Like I know New York has one. Baltimore has this.
Atlanta has
Atlanta, Cali. Yeah, DC should have one. But,
DC had one last year, so they're beginning to start.
Yeah. They're beginning to have a lot of house venues now in DC lately.
I'm telling y'all can be the ones that bring that
I feel
international
yeah.
joint together.
I believe so.
I believe it.
3-day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because there's still some elements in the house scene there that's just missing. That's not like it used to be, but it's just missing. I don't know. It's
Vinyl.
Vinyl, number one, but two, the togetherness, like a real, I don't know, it's too separated. It's like, this group over here, this group over here. Back in the day, you had one house club, everybody can come, everybody came. But now it's just separated, it's very, I don't know. But I'm trying to bridge it. That's the goal of, ours is in DC. When we did parties, we were called RCH, and that was we named it after a party at from the clubhouse, which stands for Rebirth of the Children's Hour, and that was the party that was that's the whole weekend named the party was Rebirth of the Children's Hour, and that's what we call ourselves in DC, RCH, but our sister party, Houseology.
And that's what Houseology is also about, because our other resident DJ Mark Moultrie. Shout out to that brother. Is from Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then you have Clark from DC and, also traveling all over and getting a taste of all over. And so Houseology brings guests from DC and from Jersey and from other places. We even had someone from Trinidad come through, because it's about bridging that gap. It's going back to making sure that we all get it. That one love, that one feel, that bring that love circle back,
How's this a feeling?
Hey.
I see it. I feel the love. All right, so give the people the information about the event tomorrow, and then just give us some contact information, social media, whatever it is that we can stay in touch with you guys.
Oh, well, we're going to be at St. Mary's tomorrow from every first Saturday of the month, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Located at 118 West 25th Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21218. And if you want to check me out on Facebook or get in contact with me, I'm DEE Clark on Facebook. And we also are at Houseology. And
we're also on Instagram, and that's at Houseology1. And we're also on Twitter. I have to say that right because I've been saying tweet. I'm a little old, right? Twitter. So all the kids, y'all heard me say it right. At Houseology Queen. So you can definitely check us out. And also if you want to email like old school, it's houseology1@gmail.com. So we just hope to see everybody. If you haven't been, please allow yourself to come through, because you will be blessed. You will be moved. You will be touched deeply. You will not want to leave. I'm trying to tell you.
It's a ritual.
It is a ritual.
It's a ritual.
And
So it's not
y'all.
just a show up and the DJ's playing the music.
No.
Y'all want to give us a sneak peek, like tell us what we could expect if we came?
Well, you could expect after they turn the lights on, they want us to leave. People not leaving. They're standing there clapping. You may see tears falling on people's face. You may see hugs. People just clapping, not wanting to leave. That's like at every other party.
Baby powder.
Yeah. That's
Drums. Yes, thank you. All types of
energy is full.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ Clark, you'll be doing the music.
Yeah, I will be spending from 4 p.m. to 7.
And who are the other DJs?
DJ Donna Baby will be spending from 7 till 10. She's dope. She's awesome.
Celebrating Women's Month. Honoring the women, all the women DJs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And who's the young lady over here with the colorful jacket that's been hyping you guys?
It's Robin Massinger.
Hi, Robin.
We used to do the
Robin.
RCH parties in DC. We still do.
Okay.
And she's this dope energy at all
I
times.
see.
I
And
think that our thing is going to be that weekend thing. Like nonstop to celebrate March that passed. Her
Yes.
spirit, the way that she dances, what house is. We're gonna bring that 3-day weekend, 72 hours nonstop.
So
Have fun, Dame.
Oh my goodness. Gotta get my cardio.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta come too. Y'all gotta come.
Stretch y'all there too.
Mm-hmm.
Get to stretching.
Yeah.
Bring your talc.
Well, we appreciate you ladies coming and hanging out.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all
My
so
pleasure.
much.
I kind of get the feeling y'all could